Saint Fanourios, the martyr and miracle worker, and some miracles that I witnessed. I really didn't know about him until my sister-in-law told me what happened. Of course, I was living in Flushing, she was living in Bayside with her mother, and before she got married, she was given a check to carry with her, to give to the landlord to pay their rent. And as she was going around various errands in Bayside, on Northern Boulevard, she somehow got home and she found that she had lost the rent check. And, it was a lot of money, obviously, and they couldn't afford to lose it. So they were just going amok and what to do. And so they started praying. She started praying to Saint Fanourios, who is a saint of finding lost things, or if you're in need of something, he will help pray for you to bring it to you. Now let's remember, they are the church triumphant, the saints that have already passed and their spirit has left their bodies, and we are the church militant here. We're still in this phase of our existence, but excuse the bell, it's the church across the street. They're having Vespers of St. Fanourios, which is the feast day tomorrow. But she told me what happened, that she prayed for it, and what happened was somebody came to their house and gave her the envelope with the check because it had the address on it, and they were able to pay the rent on time. But that was unbelievably gracious of them, that they found the check and went all the way to the trouble of bringing them the rental check. So that is how I found out about Saint Fanourios. He was accidentally, basically recently we found out about him, about the 18th century. An icon was found in a building, a ruined building in the island of Rhodes, when some construction workers were taking ruined stones from rubbled homes to build the wall. The ancient city of Rhodes has a very good condition ancient city from the time of the Crusades, and they had to repair the wall in one section, and that's how they found the icon buried. It was excellent condition. Kindly support my Patreon account, since YouTube has again demonetized my YouTube channel. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support, and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below. Okay, this is the Fanouropita. This is the Saint Fanourios cake that we make. It's basically a fasting cake. It's made of flour, sugar, cinnamon. I always put cloves in it as well, and walnuts and raisins, and of course baking powder, baking soda, some oil, and you bake it. It's just delicious, really delicious. And you offer it for a prayer to Saint Fanourios, and we'll go into that later. Now this is the icon I made of Saint Fanourios. I found an icon and I copied it. That's one of my hobbies, is painting icons with egg tempera. And you see that he was a Roman soldier, and supposedly he martyred around the 6th or 7th century AD, and he's holding a cross with a candle, a lit candle on the top of the cross. Now, when I made this many years ago, because our little church in the shanty town of St. Sozon Capota didn't have an icon of St. Fanourios, so that we could put it on the table whenever people brought in their little St. Fanourios cake. And I said, well, we should have one. And I did it. I painted it so that it would be ready for his feast day, which is the 27th, which is tomorrow. Today is the 26th, tomorrow is the 27th of August. And it was around the 12th or 13th of August. I was going around the city of Athens with one of my friends, trying to get her to do some driving her around, because she couldn't have a car. She didn't have a car, and I wanted to drive her around to help her go to various government agencies to take care of her work. And I was carrying the icon of Saint Fanourios that I made in the back seat of the car, freshly painted, freshly varnished. Okay, we put varnish on top of it, and it was dried, and you cover it with a linen cloth, and I had made an appointment with the frame worker, the frame shop, to put a frame around it. Now this here is it's not the actual icon. The actual icon I have is in the church, but this is a very bad fax photocopy photocopy of it. Okay, in a little IKEA frame. But what happened was, after we finished work, we sat down for some coffee and orange juice in the center of Athens. I said, let me show you the icon of St. Fanourios. So this was a Greek girl that was with me. And I took off the linen covering from it, and it was terrible. All the varnish had come off, and the linen lint was stuck on the varnish all over from the top to the bottom, all over the icon. And at that moment when we saw it, I started swearing all the terrible, terrible swear words I knew in the English language came flying out of my mouth. And she was looking at me with a look saying, "What are you saying?" And I said, "You don't want to know what I'm saying." And I was saying this in front of the icon of St. Fanourios, which was totally ruined. I mean, even if I was a neurosurgeon, I would not be able to clean off that melted varnish with the lint from the. Oh, I can't. You can't believe to know how terrible I felt. It was just ruined. And I said, what am I supposed to do? And I took her home, and then I went to the frame shop because I wanted to make sure that the frame that I had ordered was the correct size. I had another icon piece of wood, the same size, ready for an icon at home, but I would not be able to finish a new icon of St. Fanourios in time for his feast day, which would be on the 27th of August, okay? And I just started swearing again. When I got to the frame shop, about an hour after after this Athens, thing, I got to the frame shop and I took out the frame, the icon, and you won't believe it. The icon was perfect. The varnish was as stiff and clear as glass and stone. Okay, like epoxy, clear, stiff, like diamond, and the eyes of the icon were smiling at me with twinkling little eyes, and I said, "Oh my God, this is a miracle. This was a miracle." And I told the frame shop owner, I said, "Take it, put it in the frame. I just witnessed a miracle." When I got home, I called the girl that was with me. And I said, "Do you remember how damaged the icon was, with the varnish being as soft as glue and all the lint stuck on it, and how terrible I felt that I said I couldn't make a new icon in time?" She said, "Yes." I said, "Well, you were witness to a miracle because the icon is perfect. The varnish is perfectly stone, diamond quality, and there's no lint stuck on it anywhere." And he's smiling at me with these twinkling little eyes and a beautiful little smile. That was the miracle that I witnessed, okay? And now, before we went to Athens, we had gone to this little monastery with two little nuns, the monastery of St. Fanourios in Aspropyrgos. And the abbess told us, first of all, the abbess, I'm sure, is a saint, because she had the fragrance of holy myrrh, beautiful holy myrrh. And she was there with a broken leg. Her leg was in splinters for 6 months, and she didn't want to get it set. She said, "If that's what God gave me, I'm going to accept it." And she told us that St. Fanourios had appeared to her the night before to tell us that he would help us that day, in our trek to Athens with all these government offices and everything that I was helping the girl with when I was driving her around. And as she was saying this to us, I was looking at the girl next to me that I was driving, and I was thinking, "Oh God, here we go. She's imagining things. She's talking to the saint, and the saint's talking to her." She says, "I talk to him as I'm talking to you now. That's how he talks to me," she said. "And he said he would help you today." Okay? So, and I was thinking, "Oh my, here we go, Oh, she must be on something, Oh my God. Anyway, we went to Athens. Everything went so well for this girl that I was helping. Even if she was the prime minister of Athens, I mean, things would not have gone better for her. That's how beautifully everything was, she finished everything in like 2 hours. She had, I don't know how many things she had to do. People were helping her by calling other departments in other buildings so that they would expect her and take care of her immediately, and that's what happened. I mean, that doesn't happen in reality in Greece, okay? And then we had the miracle with the icon. And then after the fact, we realized that the abbess was right. She said, today, Saint Fanourios will help you. He not only helped the girl with what she had to do, he also helped us with his icon. I mean, this is just astonishing. What I want to tell you is that the ancient Christians, the early Christians had icons because, of course, they were illiterate. The icons are the windows to paradise. The longer you look at an icon, the more you will be, your spirit will enter into the world of Christ, okay? Now, they are our brothers and sisters who have gone before us, and they are helping us, whether we know it or not. But Saint Fanourios, his feast is August 27th, and he's one of my favorite saints because obviously I was blessed and honored to have found that he is so close to us, even though we ridicule the abbess, we ridicule the abbess who told us what happened, beforehand, what would have happened, and it did happen. May God and Saint Fanourios forgive me. He's one of the saints that we ask to intercede for us when we lose things. His name is from the Greek word phanerono, which means to reveal. And people, as we said, teach us to pray to him. We bake the traditional cake and we offer it to the church with a special prayer. We don't know much about his life except that he was a soldier in the Roman army. We know that the soldiers would enter the army at the age of 16, 17, and they would be in there for 20 years or so. And he was conscripted to the Roman army, and he martyred. He went through passion, and all we know is that was his name. That's when the icon was found in that ruined church around Rhodes. The icon had Saint Fanourios written on it, Aios Fanourios. He lived during Roman times and was in constant persecution. That was at the time of the Christian beliefs. And the icon was discovered on the island of Rhodes, as we said, during the period when the island was ruled by the Ottoman Empire, by the Turks. The Turks decided to rebuild the walls of the city of Rhodes, which is the old city where the Crusaders had their rest and relaxation after going to combat in the Holy Land. They would go to Cyprus and Rhodes for relaxation. And each country had its own castle, its own hostel and hospital, okay? So they sent workers outside to collect rocks from the houses and ruins to help rebuild the wall. And while doing this, a beautiful church was also destroyed, was discovered with many icons found inside. Most of the icons were destroyed to the point that you could not read the letters on them. But amazingly, one icon stood out as if it was just painted yesterday, completely unharmed. It was the icon of a young man in Roman soldier's uniform. He was wearing, of course, his armor with a red cape on top. And he was holding a cross with a candle lit on the top of it. And around the perimeter of the icon were 12 events of his martyrdom that he suffered, which revealed much of his life. Now, as far as the Fanouropita cake, it's tradition to bake a Fanouropita to bestow honor, the great honor bestowed upon the saint, and it's typically a small round cake, which is made. It's a fasting cake made of, flour, a little bit of salt, sugar, baking powder, baking soda, cinnamon. I put in cloves as well, and walnuts and raisins, and a cup of oil, and it tastes fantastic. So. And we pray for, a lot of times people, when they want to have a new job or a new apartment or to reveal a lost object, a cure, anything, a job, things like that. And I was very blessed to be able to make the icon, although I'm not a good icon painter. I'm not patient, I go too fast. But I was blessed with this unbelievable miracle. If I didn't have that girl with me and I was telling people what happened, nobody would believe me. But she was my witness, and therefore we are blessed with this honor of knowing that our saints are near us, even though we don't know. They are with us, helping us. And I hope that he also helps you, and all of Christ's saints help you. His disciples, his saints, his martyr saints, his virgin saints, everybody. God bless you, and our Lord Jesus Christ make living saints of you. Thank you very much for your support.